Hey team, we're going to count down the top 10 items issued by the United States government to our American sons and daughters who serve in the military. Right, but first things first, let's get little America set up. That's what I'm talking about. Team, and this is going to be a special collaboration between STOKERMATIC and Prepared Pathfinder, who's going to count down the top 10 items issued by the British government to their service members. So make sure you check them out, make sure you tell them to get stoked, and make sure you let both of us know who has the best items. America or Britain? All right, now let's get this thing going. All right, team, and these items are going to range from big to small, but I can damn near promise you, you're going to agree with what we got here. 10 items, 10 minutes. And the first item is the old Alice Peck. This thing has been around since the 1970s and has since been replaced by the Molly setup. Of course, Alice is not just a pack, it's not just a girl on my back, it's the all-purpose, lightweight, individual carrying equipment issued in 1973. Now, this thing is outstanding, man. It features an external frame, and if you've ever carried one of these, you know that you can put a butt ton of weight in the back. I've had over 100 pounds in the larger Alice pack.
My knees gave out.
You will freaking die. We're damn disciplined.
That's probably why my knees, my back, my feet, my hips hurt. You can drop this thing from the planes and it's not gonna fall apart. The only thing that's gonna fall apart is your back after carrying all the heavy loads that it can handle. Hands down, the smallest item and probably the most least expensive item on this list is the P-38. Is originally developed in 1942 as a small can opener that was issued in the canned field rations of the United States Armed Forces from World War II all the way through to the 1980s. Part of my everyday carry on my keyring, this particular one I'm honored and proud to carry. This is my dad's, man. He served from 1963, 1967 in the hot-ass jungles of Vietnam. And the other little-known secret about a P-38 is the best cleaner of fingernails. Team, and if you want to look to add any of these items into your kit bag, check down in the description below for some links over to my Amazon influencer page. Right, so you knew that the compass was going to be on the list, right? This thing is the bomb shizzle. M1950 military lensatic field compass. It dates back to 1952 and was an improvement on previous models by not using a liquid-filled housing to dampen the needle. Originally produced by Brunson, it is now made by Kamanga and remains largely unchanged for over 70 years. You gotta know where you are, plan a route, stay on the route, and recognize the objective. And this dude right here is gonna help make sure that you can get there.
That flag on that jacket.
The M1965 field jacket is a popular jacket for those who want to be left alone, and as an accessory for the field jacket liner. Made from the same material as the Poncho liner, it can be worn under any number of jackets, shirts, or used all by itself if you want to look real classy. And it even has some articulation and breathability. Table for two. Field jacket liner, I wear this thing every single winter. If I'm walking around without a jacket on and everybody's wondering like, dang, Top, how you staying warm? I'm like, man, the ETool has to be one of the most badass weapons of all time. And seriously, man, get an Ames ETool. These things are the shizzle. Also used to make a good hole if you got to poop in the woods. Shovel, entrenching tool, or weapon. When you have to do some dadgum work and it needs to be shoveled, it needs to be picked, it needs to be stabbed in the freaking chest, like there's not much better than the ETool for that. Medals of honor have been awarded for dudes who have killed commies and Nazis and all kinds of other dudes with the beloved ETool. Let that sink in. And when an ETool's not enough and you gotta get into some close contact, that's when you start coming out with some knife hands. Or the infamous double knife hand. Hey team, if you're enjoying this so far, make sure you like it and leave some comments down below. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date on future content. Right, and I've had woodland ponchos, I've had desert ponchos, I've had OCP and UCP ponchos. This particular one is the Marpat, so this is issued by the United States Marine Corps. Even try to think about wearing one of these in my formation though. You ain't wearing no stinking poncho, because if it ain't raining, we ain't training. Of course, back in the day, we had issued a shelter half system, and that was a canvas system, and that you had to have a battle buddy to sleep in with. But they were heavy and burdensome, and nobody ever really used the things except for in larger bivouac sites. I'm Batman. The liner is just absolutely outstanding. Not only can it be used with the poncho, but you can stuff it into a sleeping bag to turn a 2 or 3 season bag into a 3 or 4 season bag. You can use it in a hammock as a liner, help keep your butt a little bit warmer. Just all types of services, and guaranteed to get you some action. The liner has largely been renamed Whoopee, especially in the Army, following Mr. Mom back in 1983.
Got a lot of guts.
Right, and I had a lot of debate on this next item. It was either going to be the canteen cup and stove assembly, which can be used obviously for drinking water, boiling water, cooking food, and shaving, or it was going to have to be the flask. And if you didn't know, this thing is filled with the tears of a commie every time that you like and subscribe and share one of my videos. So let it all burn down, fellas. This one is for you. Oh yeah, come on. You can't beat this thing, man. This ain't no tiny girl-sized flask. This is a man-sized flask for man-sized dudes who get out there and kick some dadgum ass.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. I'm all out of bubblegum.
Right, and next up is another super inexpensive item that you need to go add in your kit bag if you don't already have it, and that's some wool glove inserts. These things are great. They're cheap, they're dirt cheap. And by themselves are not the best, right? But they are 100% wool, and what they're primarily used for is to use as a liner in colder weather. Whether you're using some black gloves or even some ranch working gloves, man, these things are going to keep your hands warm. If you're working out here in the woods, or maybe you're doing some rappelling or fast roping, these things are going to keep your hands from burning, and they're going to keep your hands nice and toasty. I do have quite a few items on this list that help maintain a core body temperature and make you look dadgum freaking amazing. And this next item is no exception. It's the 5-button sweater. Oh freaking yes. Now this thing dates back to World War II, and I love the Marine Corps, man. I'm going to be a Marine at heart for the rest of my life. But this thing hands down beats the old woolly pulley. Man, this thing is freaking sexy as hell. It's vintage, it's authentic, and it reeks American manliness and badassery. Got a bow tie event to go to? No problem, man. Put this thing on along with your smoker's jacket, and now you're good to go. And now we've made it to the #1 item issued by the United States government to our American sons and daughters. The item can't be bought at a bookstore, at a surplus store, or anywhere else. It can only be issued to those who have actually served. And unlike the rest of the items that we've had on the list, you can't go down to the surplus store to get this one. It's the lightest item, and you can't use it in a Red Dawn scenario unless you're trying to start a dadgum fire, and that's the DD-214, or release from military service. I got my original one back in 2003, and I love that thing so much, I came back in the service just to get another. 18, there you go, man. The top 10 items issued by the United States government to our American sons and daughters who serve our country. Man, Ronald Reagan probably said it best, man. A lot of people have a hard time looking for heroes right now, but you don't have to look that far. Look to those who served and paid the ultimate sacrifice for our great nation. Find a hero. Just find somebody who's worn a uniform and served their country. And if that's you, man, I appreciate you. Hats off to you. Thank you so much for your service. Although we joked and pride a little bit with the old Brits, you know, we already kicked your ass once. So it's all good, but again, make sure you go check out Tom's page at Prepared Pathfinder to look at the top 10 items that have been issued by the British military. Man, I appreciate all you guys, man. If you enjoyed the content of this one, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, share this out with a friend or battle buddy as well. That way we can continue to keep this conversation rolling. As always, man, I appreciate all you guys. And until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.